We are Xbox. That's the message that Asha Sharma and Matt Booty want to send not just to Microsoft employees, but to the world. In an internal letter sent to Microsoft employees today and eventually the public, they kind of go over their goals on how to go forward as the Xbox team, not the Microsoft gaming team. Back in 2022, the Xbox name was kind of dropped for Microsoft Gaming, and now they're going back to the Xbox name. If you haven't had the chance, you should look at the letter, but I'll give you a couple highlights that stood out to me. Particularly, they're wanting to gain back active daily users. They're reevaluating how they're going to be looking at exclusivity and AI. They're trying to expand the market to go to places like China and more. And then also they're wanting to grow certain franchises and also work on their third-party relationships. And after reading this letter, and after certain news that came out this week, I feel a lot more confident in the Xbox brand. It really does seem like Asha and Matt have really thought about how are we going to fix this sinking ship, because the last few years for the Xbox have been horrible, really bad, honestly. Not just in like, there's not really games, but really for the studios themselves and for just everything. The amount of studio closures and layoffs that have been going on for the last few years have been nuts. And another thing that I really like that this points out is that the third-party relationships have not been great, particularly with Capcom. That's one example I can really think of. The Marvel fighting game collection that had like Marvel vs. Capcom 2, that initially wasn't announced for Xbox Series consoles. It was for Switch and PlayStation and PC, but no Xbox. That came way later. I'm really glad that Asha and Matt recognize, hey, that can't keep happening. Now, don't get me wrong. I know words are very much kind of like up in the air right now. You can say whatever you want, but it ultimately depends on action. It really looks like Asha is trying to change it, especially when you look at the news earlier this week that Game Pass is dropping price. That's kind of huge and gives you a little bit more of a direction as to where they're wanting to go and how they're wanting to do. Now, ultimately, we'll see if it's going to work out in the end. We still have the RAM crisis. We still have the ever-growing price increases just overall. Not as many people are spending money on games right now, just as a whole, just because everything is just going up. So ultimately, we'll have to see if it's worth it. Maybe June will give us a better idea.